Oh yeah, we back on here again.
Here comes the.
What's up, Callaway?
Here comes the.
You already know, buddy. Straight up. Yeah.
Here comes the.
Yes, sir.
Here comes the.
And now, the hottest podcast around the globe. Straight Up TV with your host, that dude all-star.
What's up? Welcome back to another episode. We're going to start our introductions. It's the same people, well, we're going to do introduction anyway. We're going to start on this right side over here and get some introductions.
Hello, I'm Brianna.
And I'm Jay Calloway.
It's your girl Hershey in the building.
And I'm your girl, Connie Love.
All right. So if it's your first time tuning in, make sure you hit that like and subscribe, and I will appreciate it, man. I'm trying to get these subscribes up. So, all right. So let's get into this next topic. The next topic is living beyond your means, right? I mean, it's a lot to talk about here. So we might be on here about a good hour. You know what I'm saying? Listen, these are the signs that you may be living beyond your means, right? And y'all tell me if y'all agree. Using your credit card for a vacation or paying bills. Is that one? Y'all agree?
No,
Sometimes if you set up, some people set up a credit card for just that.
Just for that, yeah.
So I mean, that's
Y'all agree with that one?
I mean, I can kind of see where you're going with it.
Okay. Well, the next one is you have no emergency fund.
You definitely living beyond your means.
Okay. Spending without saving.
Yeah.
Yes, that's definitely.
All right. You have no retirement fund.
Yeah.
Running out of money before the next payday.
Yeah.
That's paycheck to paycheck.
That is paycheck
Definitely.
to paycheck.
I mean, those are some of the things that I've seen online that are signs that you're living beyond your means.
So that I think that's how you have to start. Is what does that mean to you?
Yeah.
What is living beyond your means? Because that's subjective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So for me, when I say somebody is living beyond their means, it's not a paycheck to paycheck scenario. That's just the circumstances that you are in. Living beyond your means to me means that, okay, I make $60,000 a year, but my normal expenses are $100,000 a year. I'm living beyond my means.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I am exceeding my income with debt. Right? So it means I'm putting myself in debt constantly. So I'm living beyond my means.
You're spending more money than you're making.
I bring in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think, go ahead, Hersey. You got something to say? Listen.
That's my definition.
It's trying to keep up with the Joneses, okay? It's trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Keep up with society, because who are the Joneses nowadays?
Listen. Callaway. Listen. If you got friends, and he says, well, you know, I'm getting Billy and Sally a PlayStation 5 for Christmas. Then you want to say, where you get it at? Let me go get my kids a PlayStation 5 for
So
Christmas
that's keeping
too.
up with the Joneses. That's not living beyond your means. I'm doing whatever you do.
What if you can't afford a PlayStation 5?
That's when it
That's what I'm
becomes
saying.
living beyond your
You
means.
can't afford a PlayStation 5 and you doing it because they did it.
Yeah, you're living beyond your means.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Enlighten me. What are y'all's
For
definition?
me, I'm kind of an extremist.
Okay.
So if I can't live off of half of my annual income, I know it's extreme.
No.
But
Keep
if I
talking.
can't
Keep talking.
Whoa,
live
whoa.
off my annual
Keep talking.
income, I'm living beyond my means. But that's just me personally, because I like to be able to not only save and invest, but also have some leftover money to just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is when you're
Preach.
financially responsible.
So
Preach.
That's when you're
Callaway, she
financially
pay herself before she pay anybody.
Preach.
responsible.
She pay herself before she pay anybody.
Period.
So it depends. This is a Callawayism, all right?
Oh Lord.
This is a Callawayism.
Callawayism.
And there's no doing it wrong unless you can say it's wrong. But what's the end goal is my first question to answer the question. What's your end goal? Because a lot of people are comfortable being comfortable. And a lot of times you're not going to grow being comfortable. What does that mean, Callaway? You got a $100 bill. I learned this from Shaq, which was the first first NBA player that spent over $1 million within the first hour, and people thought he was just crazy, right? Bought his mama a car, his daddy a car. He spent $1 million before he even thought about 3 cars, right? Didn't lease them, didn't buy them, didn't have nobody in his corner to coach him. Now he's one of the most wealthy people because he took I don't know, and he bettered that by asking and learning from people. So I don't know was, hey, we're going to call that $100 bill, right?
Yeah.
You just got through saying that you're an extremist because if you can take a half of that and live off of, right? But the wealthy, if you look up definition of wealthy, they'll take that half, they'll fold it one more time, and then they'll take 25% of that.
That's what I'm trying to do.
And when they can live off 25%, they're no longer paycheck to paycheck. They're no longer irresponsible when it comes to finances on 401k, a retirement plan, or having something left for their kids. And in our culture, we're lacking that because we're not taught properly.
Right.
We just spend it. If I feel like I work hard, then I can get what I want. Yeah, you can. But just because you can don't mean you should.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Too many people want
Right.
instant gratification.
But again, okay, so how do you, I think that's an individual thing to determine what is your end goal. And once you define what your end goal is, you live within that means. Because everybody does not have the same end goal, you know, like, or what right looks like it's not the same for everybody.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because it can change upon experiences.
It changed with the growth that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It changes within case-by-case situation. Like she said, she's an extremist, you know? And then we were talking about the scenario with using a credit card for vacation. What if you got points? What if that credit card's paying you? So me, I'm a stickler on not assuming that I know everything, but trying to learn from the people that already have it. Now, the reason I say that,
Is credit card really money? That's not money.
in America, credit
Why don't you save the money and just buy it right out?
Because
Because it's
everybody
leverage.
case by case and your
And
case by
everybody,
case.
exactly.
It's leverage.
And then the wealthy actually don't
You
use
don't have no
cash.
car payment. Just
Let-
buy the
let-
whole
let-
car.
Hold on, let me help you out. He said car payment. So for those that don't know me, that do know me, you already know I'm going with this. For 20
That's why I said
years, I sold cars and I was in entertainment, right? Last place I worked for was Lexus over at Smyrna and Galleria. I can't count on one hand how many times people came in there and said, "Hey, Callaway, I want to own my car." Oh, so you want to pay cash?
That's the craziest thing to me.
No, I don't want to pay cash. I want to finance it. So
don't
you're not
wanna
buying a car. You're borrowing. You have a loan, right? I don't understand. It's a fictitious way of owning a vehicle because a car is a depreciating asset. I don't even know why they call it an asset. Time you drive off the lot, any car, I don't care what kind of car it is going to depreciate, and then you're stuck with the bill. You're holding the bill, and now you have to pay for the maintenance. You have to pay for the tires and rotation, the oil changes, and you still don't own anything. If you think you're an owner of something, miss 3 payments. That's the quickest way to get back on your feet. Wow. So a lot of times we're so bound down by what mama and grandmama and daddy had said. Now, when I always lead with, listen, if I can show you a way where you can keep your money in the bank and still drive the same vehicle for less, would you at least consider? Nah, I don't want to do that. Why? Because we don't like being in this individual island. We want to be with everybody else.
Right.
I don't know about leasing. Okay. Well, most of the people that look a certain way, that have the most wealth, they understand leasing because they researched it.
Yeah.
I don't own it. Well, you just told me the last 3 cars you financed. You didn't own them either.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you in an apartment, you got a $100,000 car,
Oh,
and you
say it again,
upside
say it
down.
again, say it
You in
again.
an apartment complex trying to be like Mr. Jones's, and you don't own it anyway. You're straining. You can't even take the girl out on a date after you don't met her. When you can actually lease that same vehicle, call it a $100,000 vehicle, or let's be moderate. Let's call it a $60,000 vehicle, right? $60,000. Every $10,000 around $250, right, per month, right? So if I can show you, well, if the incentive look right and I can lease that vehicle, which means the depreciation is owned by the bank, not me.
Not me.
All the maintenance is owned by the dealership. If you get a maintenance package, the first 2 services. So now, what are you paying for? Because the residuals are 40 to 60% of whatever the vehicle. So what you telling me, instead of being responsible for $60,000, I'm responsible for $30,000. I don't have to pay for the major maintenance on it. I don't have any depreciation, and I still drive the same $60,000 car.
Right.
That's something that can be
He
taught.
just dropped it on you.
That's something that can be taught. But a lot of times we're so in our feelings about, man, I'm driving this car and he driving this car. What's for you is for you. I taught my 6-year-old the same thing just yesterday.
Yep.
What's for you is for you. If you want to be comfortable driving a big boy car to impress the people that don't even care about you, then you need to pray about your situation.
Yes, Lord.
Because I'm perfectly good letting people know I'm driving an A and B car with 100 and some thousand miles with a Lexus and this, that, and the third, and I got 2 more sitting over here. But that ain't none of your business. A lot of times when we actually set our goals, we set them for other people.
Right.
And that's why we financially unstable, because we got to have Gucci, we got to have, what was the name you were saying?
Prada.
And we don't, why do we need that? When we can actually hold ourselves accountable based on what we need and what we want, it's okay to have nice things.
No, because society got them thinking if they got those things, they're somebody.
There you go.
You know, these guys get dressed to go out to compete with what they got.
Right.
And, you know, guys always say they don't look at guys. But you do.
Yeah.
Y'all pay more attention to them than we do.
Same thing.
You can
I think it's
tell
both
me
ways.
what that man had on from the top to the bottom,
Yeah.
and then you slick hate it because he looked nice. And then you go get the same outfit you just seen him in. So what was the problem?
You're trying to keep up with the Joneses, man.
It's
Not
too
only
much
that, now we got to see who's going to throw the most money in the club.
That ain't no.
Oh, you know,
Now
that's,
you know
that's
you
real
don't-
shit.
now
I
you
seen
know-
it.
Now you living
That's real
above
shit,
your
by the way.
means because you know you don't got it.
You know you ain't
You
got it.
know that this 900 that's in
Oh,
your
my
pocket
God.
is for your rent.
It's for your
But
rent.
you got to stunt in front of these folk out here, all these other folks you out with. And now every time this nigga do this, you got to fall back.
Now
and
you
you got to
put-
make your rain a little bigger.
Now you picking up the money that he don't throw so you can throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Well,
one
that-
thing I'll say is you got to be real with yourself, man. You know your bank account better than anybody else's bank account, right?
Yeah.
So just live, you know?
Yeah.
You have to love it. To me, that's all insecurities and that's all lack of knowledge. We don't know. We don't know because we're never
That
told.
is the key.
I mean, when did that
but
become fun, though?
you come from poverty. If you
That's
come from poverty,
immaturity.
you're always going to want something.
Hold on.
Who taught? Wait a minute. Where did this come from? Who started the throw the money thing in the club?
Okay, let me.
The rappers.
Well,
But when? Because I've been trying to think. You know, I'm kind
Well,
of old.
No.
I'm kind
well,
of old. I'm just being honest.
so-
I'm trying to remember when
so
did
we
it
have
come
always been a flamboyant
competition.
In the 80s.
Yeah.
Maybe when did it come a competition? Because they always did that.
Yeah.
And they always did the strip club thing.
Yeah.
But when did it just become everybody in the club wants to do this? It's not. It's just everybody. It's just.
The competition that started with.
It's
social
like they
media,
work.
in
They
my
hustle all day long to get this wad
Yeah.
to go in the club
to blow it.
to throw it all out.
Man, you remember, man, I threw all that money up. I threw $30,000 up there, man.
I think that, like you said, all
Like,
of
does that
that,
make you somebody? Because they.
Immaturity.
all of that comes
Lack
with,
of
again,
knowledge.
lack of knowledge, as he was saying earlier. Like, us as a people, unfortunately, we're behind the power curve. And it's unfortunate, though, you know. And then what we've also, us as a people, we are showy people. And that was even back in the day. Like, in order to even be, I guess, even considered or even looked at, when you wanted to impress the white man, you got up and you put your suit on. You know what I'm saying? But then we changed that. We turned that around and said, okay, no, I put this suit on to make sure that you respect me as a man, or you respect my power, or I'm not just some nigga. You know what I mean? For lack of better words. So I like to say that, again, it's evolution, and it is hereditary. And generational curses are not just something that people think that it's just something to say. That is deep in your DNA. It is in your DNA. It is in your DNA to be a showy people, because we've always had to be in a position where we had to prove ourselves.
Right.
We've always had to prove who we were. So now you throw all types of variables in there. You throw a social media in there. You throw this in there. You throw Gucci in there. You throw all these things in there. And now I still feel like I gotta come in the hardest in order to have I gotta come in with the loudest bark to make you think I got the hardest bite.
And I'll go
don't.
deeper than
You
that.
don't.
You know
I'll
what
go
I'm
deeper
saying?
than that. It goes to animal instincts. Before man did it, animal instincts. Because if you look at any nature channel, you always see the male trying to impress. When God made animals, man and female, they always made the male more loud than they did the female because of protection, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right? So when you see a mating dance, you ever heard that?
Yeah.
So our ancestors stole that from the animals. It was who got the loudest feathers. You understand what I'm saying? Who's got the most cattle?
Yeah.
Who's got this?
Yeah.
It's all been a competition thing, and it's an animal instinct.
Yeah.
Once you put an amplifier to that, we just kind of amplified it up a little bit more. Now it's Gucci. Now it's this. It's Prada. It's that and the
that's
third.
what I walk in the room with.
But it's maturity. Earlier we were
Exactly.
talking about the bait. You know what I'm saying? You actually catch the fish based on the bait that you put out there, right? And we always 2 years in talking about she crazy, she want this, she want. Well, hell, you led with
That's
that.
what
You
you
came when you met her in the club. You was like this. Now you talking about what she want. You left. That's the bait that you use.
Yeah.
You
Made her
walk
think
up
you
to her-
had.
right.
What she
And I
want?
be a
Right.
damn fool to not want what you got.
That's what you said. You didn't walk up to her and say, "Hey, how you doing? I would like to get to know you."
Yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah, blah, blah. You didn't hit her with
Yeah,
the
but
brain
Callaway,
knowledge.
you know why they do
got-
that, Callaway? It's because
I
they,
do that.
They have.
Oh.
I ain't gonna say. No. I can say you do that.
Oh, I did that.
I'm
I did.
saying that's a way. That's the easy route to get her attention, I guess.
I think if we learn to love ourselves
But that
and be
should
comfortable with
tell you
ourselves, we don't have to
something
do
right
that,
there,
though.
though,
That's
about her.
maturity.
If that's how you got her attention, then that should tell you something about her
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's
We
break
ignore
this
that.
down.
We ignore that.
I want to talk about, me and you talked about this, Callaway, is that when you go get a apartment complex or something, you have to make 3 times, when they check your income, you have to make 3 times the amount of the rent, right? And the reason why they do that is that they want to make sure that you can cover your rent, and if any emergencies should happen, that they're guaranteed that you're going to be able to cover that rent. I don't know. I think, and then when you rent a house or something, sometimes they want you to pay the security deposit, the first month, and the last month's rent.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So these people ain't playing with you, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But forever it was just security deposit in the first month.
Yeah, it's first
But
and last.
now
Yeah.
it's security deposit, and that's usually the amount of the rent.
Yeah.
And it's first month's and last month.
Well, you know why they do that. Last month's rent is because most people will
They
leave
skip out on you.
without paying the last month's
Yeah.
rent.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
they
yeah,
got
come
that.
on
It's
with
a
the truck.
security. It's a security measure.
Why
like
do they
as
do
a
that?
renter.
Why do they do
They
that?
already know it. They don't stole our refrigerator,
Yeah.
stove, and everything else that was
They
up in
didn't
here.
told my goddamn old house up.
Yeah.
Didn't pay
She
the last
literally
month rent.
called Tyrone.
I gotta get something.
Yeah.
I can get something.
Yeah, I gotta make sure.
No,
I'm
I gotta
okay.
go in here and change the floor.
Yeah.
Right, you gotta paint.
You and your
paint the
5
wall.
kids tore my house up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Make it
crazy.
do what
Yeah.
it do.
Yeah. No, it's just.
But a lot of people don't know the insides of that too. Like they can only keep your security deposit for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like don't be fooled. A lot of them will tell you, oh, it's this, and this. But guess what? You better go in there and make sure they can prove it's this, and this, because a lot of that is wear and tear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then y'all done let them get y'all money, and it was normal wear and tear.
But you didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't fight for it.
You didn't even try to fight for it. You like, oh, I don't need that deposit. Get what? I need my
I need
deposit.
every
The last renters I had, they stole my refrigerator.
Oh wow.
They did. The last month,
They'll do you like that.
because my house was in a whole nother state, and so I didn't have a property manager. I was trying to do it myself.
Yeah.
And the refrigerator was gone.
They needed it. They needed it for the new place.
During this conversation, you're going to always go back to the lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge.
Knowledge is power. She just said something so simple that we would think all people know. Like, you can get your security deposit
Yeah.
back,
Yeah.
bro.
Like,
Most
for real.
people don't know that.
Yeah.
And it's
You definitely can get
it's
it.
just that lack of
I
knowledge.
think they have 30 days to give you in writing a letter of what they took
Yeah.
and why they took it.
And if it doesn't make sense to you, when you read it, if you looked at it and you said, guess what? Go get you some business, because 9 times out of 10 you can get that money.
But I used to do I do insurance adjuster. I'm like independent contractor, right? So I deal with people all day who've lost their homes in a storm and hurricanes, and you know what I mean. And you will be surprised. These people have had the same policy for 20 years and don't know what their policy covers, because nobody sat down and read it.
Broke it
All
down
they
to 'em.
know is that
I gotta
they
have
said
insurance.
I gotta have
have
insurance,
insurance.
and not realizing like
What it cover?
my house ain't even covered because it said it don't cover. Or I got a $20,000 deductible for hurricane. I thought I had $1,000 deductible. No, baby, that's if it's a regular claim. This is if it's a hurricane claim. You'll be and that's again that lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
That lack of educating ourselves, and that is the biggest issue with people. I'm not even gonna just say us as a. I'm gonna say us as a people.
I'm gonna say us as a people.
I like to be specific when I talk about, because I don't care about the other cultures. I only care about this color that I carry. You know,
you
so
notice that it's mostly us that's not reading our contract.
it is.
We just sign stuff.
It is, and you know why?
How many of y'all don't check that box without reading it, and then just so you can get to the next page? How many?
Shit, some of them didn't even get a copy of it.
I mean, I'm guilty. We do it all the time.
It's
I just
easy to
bought
get
a
us
car
wrong.
a month ago and was
Really
just like, here. And you said what? Here.
How much was the
Here,
monthly?
here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how
You
much
know,
it
I
cost?
had a apartment complex try me like that here. I moved in. She some kind of way pulled up something way back when I was like 18 or something. It had to been like, it was something I went to court for that was actually dropped, so it shouldn't even picked up on my credit anyway. So because of that, she wanted to charge me the huge deposit. So she thought I was a dumb black girl. So boom, I got that. You know, she didn't want to hear that. So maybe 4 months in, she called me to the office and she says, "Oh, you signed the wrong contract. The apartment that you signed for was really this, and we made a mistake and put you in the wrong building. You're in an upgraded one. You're supposed to be in this one over here." I'm like,
That's y'all bad.
you got me messed up. So I go read my
Contract,
paperwork, and it tells me my address where I live at. This is where my signature is at. So I'm trying to see, where did I mess up at? Did you mess up and give me the wrong contract? Because this is what I came to look at, and this is the one I said I wanted.
Right.
So she stopped trying to take my rent from me. She wouldn't take my rent, so I kept it. I tried to put it in whatever they call it, but they told me it wasn't old enough to be putting it in there, so I just kept it. So after the 3rd month she didn't take my rent, I got a lawyer. Because it's on you that you're not taking my rent.
Yeah.
Right.
So she tried to tell them that I was wrong and blah. And then I'll never forget her saying this. "Well, Miss McClain, you opened up this can of worms." Oh, it's okay. So in the end, because she thought I was a dumb black girl, got my lawyer, I won. I was able to move. You can't even charge me for the whole year. I was able to move. I got my money back, got my deposit back, and kept all the rent that she was refusing. They said I could keep it. She didn't have no reason to refuse it.
Wow.
White lady, a Karen.
Yeah.
I'm glad you left, because that's another thing we do. We always try to put ourselves in rooms that we got to fight to be in. And I think at this day and age and this time, I'm not fighting to be anywhere. I'm going to just go create a new one.
I did.
Because it is time to stop spending so much time on lawyers and so much energy trying to, I'm going to get in the room, I'm going to get in this room, I'm going to get in that room. But, they going to accept me when it's no power. It's so much power in the black dollar and in the black community that if we stop trying to get in their rooms and we only stay in our rooms, we'll be just fine. So I've gotten to a place where it's like, y'all don't want me here. Like, I think it was here in Atlanta where they said Houston's. Was that Houston's? That they said that they started boycotting a couple of years ago.
That was Houston's.
Is it Houston here?
Yeah, it's the
When
Houston's
T.I.
off of
was up
Peachtree.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I'm like, why are we? Listen, just don't go. I'm not fighting to go to this restaurant where they have clearly
The black and brown dollar
I'm
right
not-
now is worth billions, and we don't understand that. It's like the problem is we can't get on the same page.
Yeah.
It's like when we say simple things like, "Hey, just don't buy gas," just to show our power. I get this nigga right here. We can't do it because we got too many kings and not enough Indians. It's like you.
I'm gonna go deeper than that, because the thing is that even if you go back into slavery times, you know what I mean? Some people have just accepted their fate. Some people have just accepted that they're a nigga and they're gonna be a slave and they ain't gonna run. They're gonna be on the
Slave
master
mentality.
team. So you're gonna always have those people, and unfortunately, they bark the loudest. Unfortunately,
They ain't saying nothing.
the stronger person who wanted to run, you had to be quiet. You have to do that secretly. You gotta. So there's the boisterous, like, no, y'all do y'all thing. We gonna stay here. We got a good master. He do us right. We ain't gonna shake the boat. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna rock the boat. So now we've gotten to a point where it's always gonna be some that do this, and it's always gonna be some that do that, and you just have to pick which side you're on. Instead of trying, instead of trying to get 100, get 10 good ones. And those 10 good ones go do what you're supposed to do.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah, Georgia has this thing, each one teach one. If you can touch one, if it's a room of 10 and I can take one with me, I'm cool with that. Because 1 + 1 is 2. We're going to go get one more. It's a slower grind. You know what I mean? But I've accepted that everybody, all I can do is educate. And once I educate you, you can either come with me or you don't.
You have a choice.
Yeah.
I used to be so like this subject we're talking about, like you gotta live beyond your means, you gotta live within your means, and I'm like, no, you do it what's best for you. The only thing what my responsibility is, if I know better, to show you better, and if you decide to do better, that's on you. Yeah. That's if you just say, nah, I'm cool with this.
That's your choice.
That's your choice.
That's your
Some
choice.
people who really believe you have to fake it until you make it.
Yeah.
And they've been faking it for 40 years.
40
ain't
years.
made it.
And never making it.
Yeah.
But shit, as black people, we've been faking it since we got to this country.
We got to change the narrative, though.
Yeah.
I heard something so profound, and I'm going to have to share it with you. And at first, I thought it was simple. I grew up playing Monopoly, though. Anybody play Monopoly before?
I love Monopoly.
All right. So the rules of Monopoly is that once you make it around the board, you get what?
A house.
$100.
You get the $200, right? Now, before you start playing, you get $1,500, right? Each player gets so much money from the bank,
Yeah.
right? So imagine I invited you over to play Monopoly, right? And y'all sitting around the board. I paid myself $1,500, but I didn't give y'all $1,500. But y'all watching me play and gain property and assets, right? So our people have actually been invited to the Monopoly party and never given our due share to
$1,500.
start with. We
You're
never got our
absolutely
$1,500. We never got the $200 every time we pass go. We always get sanctioned. We get picked on as far as being in the wrong neighborhoods. You're breaking these laws, this, that law, and the third. We never got the 40 acres in the move. It's funny to me in car sales, I can have somebody that come from a different country last week, and we got a program. We have a program that can get them in a brand new car. And I'm not talking about like a $5,000 car. I'm talking about a big boy car because of what we are deciding to give them or to start with. It's like everything that we have, we took it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We took it.
We had to.
We took it,
had
and
to.
now we're such a threat at this particular point in our lives that people are like, wow, well, they're acquiring billions. Oh, now they want to own teams, and now they want this. So what's so wrong with that? So
because it shakes up the system. And
Systematic.
it is anything that changes what this country was stolen by white people at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So when you steal something, you trying to make it
I guess you're looking
advantageous
over
to
your
you.
shoulders. Yeah.
We came here unwillingly, unknowingly, however you want to put it, and they didn't ever come. We wasn't supposed to ever have no power. We were supposed to be an asset to them. And that's how they're going to do
Property.
everything that they can possibly do
Yeah.
to only be that.
Well, the Constitution saying, if you look at it deep enough, it says every man is created equal, unless. Yeah, you didn't hear me, did you? Every man is created equal unless.
There should never be
Yes.
unless.
How you have a contract that say unless?
Yeah.
Unless. That's where the systematic oppression came from. I'm not going to harp on it on colors, but I'm going to look at it like this. If you know better, you should be doing better. But you do have a decision and choice, and I'm going to live on that. I'm going to stand on that. So if you are living beyond your means, you're not doing yourself a disjustice, but you're also doing your kids and your family that you're leaving behind a disjustice. We're the only community of people that have to gather up or do GoFundMe pages when our people
leave.
pass.
But why though?
Yeah.
Because
Why?
you can go buy that Gucci shirt and you can go, you know what I'm
We
saying?
didn't prepare ourselves.
Yeah.
And our parents didn't prepare us.
Exactly.
Because the other cultures, when their parents die, they got a house, some land, some money to do
Yeah,
something with.
they had a
They're
life
standing on
insurance.
their ancestors' shoulders. Now, when we say the same term or the phrase, we're standing on our ancestors' shoulders, we're meaning, oh, they taught us that recipe. They taught us how to discipline our kids. They taught us how to act right. They taught us how to dress right. But we ain't leaving our generation behind us nothing.
Yeah.
That's why living beyond your means should be like the second Bible in our house.
Yeah.
We're not teaching our kids.
Okay, well let's get into some possible ways you can stop living beyond your means. Like I would say somehow create another source of income.
Stop going to buy
Start-
Louis, Gucci, and Prada.
No, well that
'Cause you
that
can't
too.
leave that
That's
to
the number one
kids.
thing. But I think if
You
if,
can't
if
leave
you
that to the kids.
if
So
you
that to me, baby, is dependent on your tax bracket, on your income and your lifestyle.
If you got a closet full of that today, the average child ain't thinking about, well, I can resell this shit right now. They're thinking about my parent gone and we ain't got no money to bury them. Or
So
my brother
that's
gone,
again, that's what I'm saying.
we
It
don't got no
depends
money
on
to bury them.
it depends on your tax bracket, because if I am a millionaire and I go spend $1,000 on a shirt, it's like this much of my income.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the average black person, though.
So what I'm gonna add to that, right? The question is, how can we change? What's the solution, right?
That's what I'm.
Why are we so quick to buy our kids Jordans?
Right, exactly.
Why are we so quick to put the wrong things and ideas in their head? Because we don't understand what love truly is. We think love is, oh, I can't get you that, but I'm going to get you this materialistic. So they growing up with that same thing implanted in their head.
Well,
So we have to change the narrative.
I remember being 16 and a single mom, and shit, I was gonna get my baby them Jordans.
Why?
And it was because I didn't want my child to be picked on. I didn't want my child to be left out. I didn't want my child to not have what everybody else has. And that is, I wanted my child to feel equal to his surroundings.
Society.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I lived in the hood at that time when he was in elementary school where everybody in the neighborhood is wearing Payless, he would have got Payless. But I tried to say, I'm going to put him in a better neighborhood. So I'm going to go to this community.
My kids wore Payless.
You know what I'm saying?
Walmart, they
so
wore
when I put him in that better neighborhood, I felt like I had to keep up with the community around me. Now, not saying that this was right. I'm saying this is what a lot of people's mentality is. It ain't, oh, I'm just buying Jordans because I can, because I want my child to have Jordans. No, I don't want my child to be picked on. I don't want my child to be the only one after Christmas who got to go in there and say, he ain't get no Christmas gift. Because if you've ever been in that situation, you know the shit don't feel good.
Yeah.
So
You
I'm
know
gonna
what I'm
interject
saying?
with
That's
this.
I mean, let's just be honest.
things that we do, man.
But
We
that's
get
where,
it.
that's
We
where
get
we
it,
get
but
where
we're
the
not-
education
We
comes
get it.
from.
We get it. But hold on.
Yeah.
We get it. But we're talking about way before they get 16 now.
Yeah.
You got babies that grow up from 0 to 16.
No, I'm talking
But
about
what have
my
you
child
done?
is
No.
7.
We're talking about, that's what we're talking about, though. We're talking about kids before they even understand the value of anything. People are teaching them that this over here is way better than this. Listen here.
Yeah,
I can go get an
you
outfit
are.
that's not name brand. I can walk in the club with somebody who got on $2,000-$4,000 worth. And guess what? I'm gonna have people that gonna come to me and they gonna look over this person.
Right.
It's what you putting in it. It's
Right.
what you. My daddy taught me
Yeah.
when you walk in a building, walk with authority and show them that you're somebody.
Yeah.
And when I walk in a place, everybody notices me, no matter where I go and no matter what I got on.
Right.
I ain't got no Louis and Gucci and Prada and all that in my closet. You can come look at my closet. I ain't
You
got
wear
none of
them
that.
clothes.
But
You
guess
not let
what?
them clothes
I got
wear
all
You're
kind of
absolutely
blessings
right. You're
in
absolutely
there.
right.
You have
I
to
got
build
all
it.
kind of blessings, and guess what? Where you can go get that shirt, I can go check out that savings account, and yours ain't got nothing in it, but mine got something in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it goes back to what we said. A lot of times we just don't know
You don't know.
up front.
Yeah.
So that's the growth part of it.
No, we
So-
know what we
No,
doing.
you know.
No,
So,
you
no,
know
You know as a child.
Listen,
you
Back-
know
no,
as a
no, no, no,
child.
no, 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 no,
Let me
no.
say
No,
this.
no, no. Let
You
me
know
let me
as a
finish.
child.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Or it's
no, no,
not
no,
as
no, no.
important.
No. Please let me finish. Okay.
Go ahead.
When you have a child having a child,
Thank you.
I was a child. You still know better.
you don't know better
You
all
don't.
the
You
time.
do know better.
As a
See,
16-year-old raising
As a
kids,
16-year-old,
you
you
don't
know.
always know.
Should I
better.
buy this Jordan? Or should I get this shoe that's gonna be half price as this Jordan?
So let me
'Cause
tell you-
I ain't but 16 and I know.
Now let me tell you what my
mentality.
mentality was. You know what my mentality was?
They're
Okay,
kids.
instead of me going to Six Flags or whatever else I'm working, because I'm only getting $7 an hour or whatever, I'm finna go find me a job that pay me $13 so I could buy my baby these shoes. When I should have been saying, you know what? Don't worry about getting those shoes right now. Go get that $13 an hour and save that money.
Right.
But at that time, lack of knowledge and lack of education and the blind leading the damn blind.
But it shouldn't take that long though, y'all.
No, we're not saying it takes long. I was only addressing how you begin something. And then sometimes when you begin something, it becomes a habit. You know what I mean? It just starts to become
I
a
get it.
habit.
I see a lot
you
of
get
young
what I'm
folk
saying?
doing it.
You do,
Yeah.
and it's sad and it's disheartening because nobody's teaching us in school how to manage our money.
We're in
No-
2022 right this second, right?
But you
Yeah.
know how
And
to
that's
manage money
the
because
fact.
you
But what I'm saying is, the comment was we should know better.
Mm-hmm.
We should know better.
But we don't.
We should know better. The fact is, and the proof is in the pudding.
That
We're in
we don't.
2022 right now, and kids are still making the same mistakes. So we
Yeah.
don't know.
We
better.
don't know better, and
That's
we're not
factual.
doing anything to
So it
change
should be.
it.
Yeah, it should be. So each one teach one. That was an example I
Yeah.
just heard.
Yeah.
I actually use that same source. Now, if you want to change your community or you want to change the world, the only thing I can think of, and I used to share this with everybody, I'm going to share it with you guys. Look at yourself, and first of all, change yourself. Then change your household.
Yeah.
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 Then change your community, your
Around
mama's house.
you.
You can't you can only eat one bite of the elephant. You can eat the whole elephant at the same time.
Right.
Just because we think we should, we don't know because the evidence goes against us. We don't know.
Yeah.
We keep making the same mistakes over and over again. Now, I was raised with nothing in the middle of the hood. Mama had 3 kids. No baby daddies that was around really doing nothing, right? But she got out. That was luck, right? Right? So I had a choice. I had a choice to be like mama or be like daddy, right? I had other siblings that went the other way.
But you
So
knew
it's a
better.
choice. I chose
A different
path.
path.
Your common sense told you. I'm
Common
not gonna
sense
do what
ain't all
mama
that
did.
common.
I'm not gonna do
They-
what mama
oh,
did.
that's
I
good.
want better than
Common
that.
sense ain't coming.
But see, what you're
I want
said
it.
your
Yeah.
common sense.
I want
didn't
it
say
better.
my common sense
no,
told you that.
No, I'm not saying you.
But everybody, what he's
I'm
saying
saying
is everybody
people in
doesn't
general.
have that common sense. And when you have the mentality of you should know, it's kind of almost a disservice because you're so enlightened and you're so educated and you're so smart.
everybody else
that
ain't.
Everybody else ain't. So therefore, you're missing out on actually building a person up because you looking like you should already know that.
No.
You know what I mean?
I'm just gonna give it to you raw. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it because I'm one of them ones that had to do it and I had to get out there and do it on my own. I don't like excuses. There's no excuses. Mr. Kate died a long time ago. I had 4 kids. I had my first one at 16, 17, 18. 4 years after that, I had the last one. I was a single parent from the day, 1993, November the 28th. That's the day I became a single mother. That still to this day, and the oldest is 28, the baby is 21. Still to this day, I am the only parent. You're not going to tell me that kids don't. I got a 9-year-old right now. And if I present something to her and I say, you going to do this or you going to do this? She showed me in a story before. Nah, Gigi, don't give me them. Because, see, if I get these, I can get these and these for what you finna pay for these.
In
Yeah.
your case.
Right.
In
Makes
your
perfect
case,
sense.
yeah.
In your
Good.
case. And ain't
So
nothing
you
wrong with
can't
that.
tell me you don't know better because a lot of people do know
Okay,
better.
well-
I'm going to tell you the problem is they made the decision to do it.
Okay, so let's
Kids
go.
make mistakes and grown folks make choices.
So
period.
That's good. That's good. But
Period.
let's visit this. Let's say that okay, you do know better, but your circumstances affect your decision. Can you agree with that? I know better. I know that I shouldn't buy Jordans instead of the Payless shoes. However, I'm in this type of situation. Like I was saying, I'll just use the example like I was saying. I don't want my kid to be, this is my mentality at the time. I don't want my child to be picked on. I don't want him to be the only person. I got him in this bougie school. So I'm going to make sure he fits in. That's my mentality.
But you know what?
So that's the decision I made based
That's
off
where y'all
of
mess
that.
up at though, because the average child, they don't want that. These folks still want
Kids do not want to be
Spider-Man.
picked on.
They want. I'm
Kids do
not
not
saying
want to
that.
be the one
They
that
don't want
have.
to be picked on. But hold on. The average child ain't on Jordans and Nikes and all that.
That's why
they
I
want
said-
the Spider-Man. They want the
Yeah.
whoever they watching. They want the
wheel- with the wheels,
and
with the wheels on it,
Mario
with
and
the wheels.
I let
all that.
listen, I'm at an age now and I'm in a
ones
financial,
that light up.
I thank God that I'm in a financial place where I can go
If
do
you go
whatever
to the
I
store,
want to
they're
do
gonna
when
pick
I
out the
want to
light
do
up
it, right?
versus the Jordan.
But
Right.
that 5-year-old of mine, that nigga, excuse me, that little boy, the gangster came out of me
Bloopers.
for a second, my bad. That little boy walks around and he goes to the store in kangaroo costumes and Spider-Man shoes we
That's
got
a
from
new age kid,
Walmart.
yeah. That's a new age
He
kid.
doesn't care because at this age as a mother, me being a mother is not defined by what I can buy him, what rooms I can put him in, what school I can put him in.
Yeah.
Back then, because I was the blind leading the blind, for me, being a mother was providing him with all the things, getting him in the private schools, taking him to all the fancy dinosaur shows and stuff, because that's what I thought being a good mother was. Again, lack of knowledge. Not knowing all I got to do is sit at home with this baby and play dinosaurs.
That's it.
I ain't got to,
Ain't gotta-
I ain't gotta take him to the dinosaur
Kids
show.
like love. They like
Yeah.
the love and attention. They want your attention.
So it's about your circumstances and when you get to that place or when you do get that knowledge. So sometimes your circumstances make the decisions for you.
Right.
But when you get so grounded in who you are, when you get so, you know what? No, I know this worked for me.
Yeah.
Well,
You do
apparently
it
her
that
money
way.
was good when her kids was little.
Listen,
'Cause
I always
couldn't
been a
afford
hustler.
the Jordans and
I
all that.
always
I
been.
ain't even gonna lie.
I had
My
4
daughter,
of them. I
4
wasn't
years
trying
old.
to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I'm getting my daughter the Jordans, and I'm going on Poshmark and Mercari and
Yeah.
eBay and Amazon.
Yeah.
And
So-
her Jordans are $25, $30, $35. I'm not paying $65 for a growing child's
Right.
shoes.
And see, and me, you know what I said? I graduated high school a year early because I said I didn't want to struggle. And I was like, okay, how do all for me was, how do I get out of this? I got pregnant. I messed up because I'm going to make my life harder. So what do I have to do to make my life better? So I was like, you know what? Okay, where can I go and get a check every 2 weeks, no matter what? I joined the military. You think I wanted to sign on that damn dotted line? No, I didn't. I didn't want to leave my family. I didn't want to leave my baby for 9 months. I didn't want to do any of that. But I did what I had to do because I know what kind of life I wanted to live. Right. You know what I'm saying? I knew that I did not want financial issues. I knew that I wanted a consistent paycheck. I knew that I wanted to buy a house by this age. And the only way to do that was to have money.
Respect.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I said, what can I do with no skills, no education, that's going to give me a check every 2 weeks? The military. And they said they'll pay for me to go to college. Oh, I'm winning. I'm winning. So that's the route I chose to take. So again, lack of knowledge. Because my friend, we got pregnant at the same time. My babies are 2 months apart. She said, no, I'm not joining no army. I don't care what they give you. That ain't for me.
Yeah,
and
a lot
has
of people feel that
struggled.
way.
And she decided that it was worth the struggle because she wasn't willing to leave her child for 9 months. She
Yeah.
wasn't willing to do these things. So it gotta be like I said, your circumstances help make some of the decisions you make.
It got to be, a lot of times is what you need. God placed some kids in your life in that moment for a reason.
Girl, let me tell you.
So that's why she couldn't leave her child, because in that moment she needed that child in her life for her life to do what it needed to do. Had she not did that, her life would have went a whole nother direction. And I tell people, I'm glad God gave me mine when he did.
Me too.
Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here right now today.
Yeah.
And I know that for sure.
Yeah. I say that all the time. I had my son at 16 and I say, he saved me from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I was 16, I was influential, I had low self-esteem, I probably would have did a lot of things that I did not want to do. You know what I mean? But after having him, I no longer live for me, I live for him. So therefore, everything that I did was for him. So sometimes those kids, so when people look at you, and my biggest thing, and I don't know about you because you were a teenage mom, but my biggest thing, I will not become a statistic. You will not make me a statistic. Because you said I was 16 and I had this baby, I ain't going to be nothing.
But that's what I've just told you. Like, I'm not one who's going to listen to that. You know how so many people say, oh, girl, you had that baby, your life's over. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You can't do that with me. You can't. Because I'm one of those girls that had that baby and my life is not over.
My life is great.
I mean, my kids are grown.
Yeah.
I'm evidence that it's okay. Everybody's gone. You know, I'm grown. I'm okay. I'm still living. Still got a little change.
Yeah.
You know, still paying my bills. I'm okay. I'm eating good.
Yeah.
You know,
We eating, baby. We eating, baby.
I don't get it. I hate for them to tell young girls that, because everybody's mental is not there. So you don't know what saying that to that young girl
How it
did
affected.
to her. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for years, that's all she heard in her head. I ain't gonna have no life. I ain't gonna be able to do this because I had this baby.
been
And that's why
brainwashed
half
at
of them
that
go
point.
have an abortion.
Yeah.
Now she dealing with that part of the mental.
But I still want to make it realistic and say that shit harder. It hits
It is.
harder. That situation makes it harder for you. It makes it harder to become successful. You gotta grind a lot harder than you have to grind
And it doesn't
when
matter how old you are,
when you ain't got no other responsibility. Exactly.
Right.
At this age now, I got a 5-year-old, and I'm like, if this baby wasn't here, I'd be
Girl, I
doing
don't know
this.
how you did
I'd be doing that. You know
I
what
feel
I'm
like
saying?
that, and I'm 32 years old.
Yeah. You know, so it
doing
has its
good.
ups and its downs. So you gotta, what you said was the mentality. You know, what we have to learn is that everybody don't have what you have. Where you got that gumption, where you got that hoorah, I'ma go get it. Where you got that self motivation, everybody ain't built with that inside of them.
They got to get it. That's why I be trying to help people.
It's hard.
Hey, I
It's
want to
easier.
ask Brianna's. Brianna, can you tell us about your Facebook post that I told you I read
Yeah.
that you wrote? Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, I mean, basically, like, I've been struggling, like, not struggling for real, but on the outside looking in, it looked like I was struggling because I was sleeping on couches, I was sleeping in basements, I was rotating between several weird roommates just so I could save up and not be living, like, below my means, you know, save for my house. And when I bought my house, I didn't want to be house poor. You know, I wanted to buy all my furniture in cash. I just didn't want to have to struggle. You know what I'm saying? So
That's a
for several
testament,
years.
man. So basically,
Ooh, that's
you made the ultimate sacrifice to save money, and when you save money, you got yourself and your daughter a house.
Yeah. And it wasn't easy. I mean, it was easy, but it was just a sacrifice that most people aren't willing to
That
do.
is not an easy sacrifice.
Yeah.
What happened?
So-
Now I missed it. I'm sorry.
Basically, she went from a time what, a year, 2 years, what?
I would say is basically ever since I graduated from college up
Right.
until now, and I'm 32 years old.
Right.
Well, up until
So basically, she
last
had-
year when I purchased my house.
She
10
had
years?
roommates
8
here,
years?
roommates there,
It's about-
sleeping on other people's couches
Oh,
and
you
stuff.
should-
While
8
she
to
was
10
saving
years,
money
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
She was saving everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
baby, because woo.
I can't
So
do it.
I was paying
Ooh,
about,
Lord Jesus, thank you, Lord.
Give her another hand clap,
I was
please.
paying
For
about-
real.
I ain't doing it.
For real. You the MVP.
I ain't doing it.
It was hard.
When
I was
I-
paying like $350 to $600 in rent for about 8 to 9 years. So I was saving a shit ton of money, you
Yeah.
know, and it looked like a struggle for a long time. Like I didn't even buy my first TV or a piece of real furniture until I bought my house. Cause I'm like, why do I need to buy, you know, like real dishes to? I live on the 3rd floor of an apartment. Like, why am I buying these big, heavy dishes to, like, tote up to the 3rd floor? Like,
Yeah.
why
Right.
do I need to buy real furniture right now? Like, and I just bought a little
Girl,
futon.
you
That
making
was
me
my
realize
couch for
my
the
little
longest.
blessings, baby.
Yes,
Because
honey.
I done had my own house
Yeah.
since I left my mom house at 17, baby, and I just thank God, and I'm 44 today.
Hey,
and
Have y'all ever listened
Jesus,
to
girl.
Said
does
44
anybody
today. Happy birthday.
happy birthday?
No, I'm saying I'm 44.
Oh, okay. I thought you said today.
No.
Does anybody listen to Dave Ramsey or
Yeah,
follow
I
him?
listen to Dave
Dave
Ramsey.
Ramsey's biggest thing is cash is king, debt is dumb, right? That's
Right.
his. And you know,
He
I
get
followed
paid
him
for
for
a lot of that, too.
Exactly. And I followed him for a long time, but he believes in that. The ultimate sacrifice to become debt free.
Right.
The only debt you should actually have is your home, and you should
And
be
that's my only debt.
and you should be working
I'm 100% debt-free.
to get to that point. And I tried it for a year. I did.
How'd it go?
It wasn't for me. I don't. It wasn't for me. I am not a person who can sacrifice what I want for what I might need sometimes. You know what I mean? Like I
said
am.
you won't?
Yeah, I don't like to. I'll say I don't like to. I don't like to sacrifice what I want for what I need. So what I end up doing is figuring out a way to get what I need without making any sacrifices. So if that means that instead of me, so in your situation, I wouldn't have probably stayed on nobody's couch. I probably would have worked 2 jobs.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, so
I
I'm
would-
a go harder in this area because I can't sacrifice my comfort of living.
So you're gonna create another source
I'm
of
gonna
income.
create another source of income
Yeah.
or do whatever it is I gotta do. Or maybe I'll live in a 1-bedroom instead of a 2 with these kids. We gotta share a bed for a little while. But I can't go as far as saying,
ma'am.
you know, I could save $1,200 by living on somebody's couch. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not willing, and that's what I had to realize. Like, you have to kind of realize also when you're dealing with finances, what kind of person you really are,
Right.
and be realistic about it. You got to say, do I like nice things, or do I buy nice things to impress others?
Right.
Because
and you gotta
sometimes
realize,
you
pre-
really like nice
Yeah.
things. I like nice stuff.
Now I'm gonna tell you, them Air Jordans feel good on my damn feet though. I'm gonna tell you, listen, man, Callaway. No, I'm serious,
done
man.
convinced himself
Listen,
that the
them
Jordans
Air
feel
Maxes,
good on
them
his
Air Maxes feel good. I'm gonna
Max
tell you.
do.
You know what
Listen,
also
I'm
feels
also
good on my
listening.
feet?
Max
Hey,
do feel
I
good
tell
on
you
your
what.
feet.
I'm saying.
I tell you
All
what
I
else
wear
feels
is
good
Air
on my
Max.
feet.
Listen,
Converse
take
feel
care of your
good.
feet.
Converse feel
Take
good.
care of your feet.
Converse all blacked out. They feel
Yeah.
real good on your
I
feet.
don't know.
And them only $29,
But
$30.
them, Air Force Ones, no good. No, not good on your feet.
I've never
But Air
owned a
Max
pair.
are great on your feet.
Yeah. So it just comes
It's
to a
about
point of
individuals. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
What's for you is for you. My grandmother instilled that in my head when I was a little kid, and I didn't understand what's wrong with this old lady that kept hitting me with jewelers. You know,
Yeah.
easy come, easy go. What are you talking about? I'm 6. What does that mean?
Yeah.
It took me
Yeah.
to be, more mature adult to kind of really figure out what she was trying to say, and nobody else was listening. I was
Yeah.
like one of the only male figures in my family. Everybody else was grown. All these little girls around me, so she poured more into me than anybody else. I want to say, and I came out the way I came out. That's all I'm gonna put out there.
Yeah.
All right, let me segue into something else.
Uh-oh.
I want to talk about these credit cards.
Uh-oh.
I'm back on these credit cards.
Compound.
Listen, you got all these people
Daily
trying to
interest.
give you a credit card. You know what I'm saying? That can't be good. Everybody trying to, you got good credit. Everybody trying to give you some credit. You don't need, like Brianna, save your money and just buy it right out.
It's
you know
not
what I'm
the
saying?
American
What is
way.
the purpose of a? Okay, I can understand having one credit card for
I like
emergencies.
finance.
The country
I can
is
have-
in trillions of dollars of debt based off of credit.
Yeah.
But you're telling the common person to not use credit. When the country that we live in is built and
What I'm
based
saying,
off of,
Connie-
they're in trillions of dollars of debt.
Let me say
but
this,
you gonna
Connie.
tell the common person
Let
don't
me
use
say this,
credit?
Connie. Let me say this.
When they build a whole country
If you
based
do
off
not
of
I
credit.
want those
credit.
new Jordans. I
Yeah.
want those new Jordans. Let me just put them on this credit card.
So it's not about the credit card.
that's
it's about
that's a
managing
mentality.
your means.
That's yeah.
is
That's
not-
not
But
what
it's
you're
still a
saying.
credit card.
And that's different.
But see, that's the
That's
thing.
different.
It's-
That's
That's
living above your
different.
means because that's something you wanted.
Not
You
in what
didn't
you
need 'em
needed.
right now.
You didn't need 'em.
You just so happen to walk past that shoe and oh man.
I
But it's
gotta
still a
have
credit card. If I didn't have that
It
credit
didn't
card, I
matter.
wouldn't be
America
doing it.
and a lot of
why
society
you
is
don't
built
need
on
that
credit
credit
though.
card. That means
It
you're
ain't.
not
That don't mean you got to buy Jordans
That
on the
means you're
credit.
not-
You said that what was his name? The guy you
Dave
mentioned.
Ramsey.
He said you shouldn't be in debt, right?
Yeah, he
Believe
says
What's
that.
up? What's up your
Ramsey's getting
house?
a paycheck. Dave Ramsey's getting a
No,
paycheck.
no,
to
let's
tell
be
you.
realistic though. Don't discredit him too
I'm
much.
not too much.
Yeah,
but let's be
because
realistic.
he is very he's a financial guru and he did make millions, but he makes his money off of insurance. To be honest, but you know,
ULIs,
Yeah.
whole life, term life, and he ain't preaching
Exactly.
exactly what he doing.
Exactly.
So again, I won't discredit him too much, but I'm gonna call a spade,
spade a
right?
spade.
You getting a check for being on TV.
but okay, so that's why let's go back to knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
You can't take just like the Bible. Some people y'all like to pick and choose what
Cafeteria
you take out,
Christian.
out
Cafeteria
the Bible
Christian.
that fit to you.
Yeah.
So take out of every situation what is privy to your situation.
Right.
What makes
Yeah.
your situation better. And some people, like a credit card is not a bad thing because I know
Yo,
how to manage my money.
Your lifestyle can't be supported by a credit card.
So that's what you're trying to. That's the
I
point
think
you're
we're
trying
saying
to make.
two different things,
That's your
though.
point you're trying
That's
to
two
make, and that's
different
a
things.
very valid point. Do not support your lifestyle with
That's
a
what
credit
I'm
card.
saying. You
That's
can't.
what you need
You
to
can't
do.
go on
A
these
lot of people
vacations
are-
on the credit card.
So-
You
People
can't.
are
Yes,
afraid
you
of
can.
the word debt, and debt is not necessarily
Yeah,
a
credit
bad
card.
thing if
Yeah.
you're using debt as leverage.
Yes. Exactly.
Well, if you live in America,
I'm gonna give me some rims on these credit cards.
well, that's
That's
two
fine.
different
You can
things.
No, it's
afford
not.
in 2 months to pay it back.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
see nothing wrong. I don't see anything
Now, if you
wrong
gonna
with
take
that.
So
it
so
right
if
back.
the only way I can get them, the only.
Exactly.
You know, what is going on with these cameras?
What if it's not the only way you can get them? Is what we're saying.
Yeah. The only way you can get them is putting them on credit is not the right way.
So can I add
that
this?
I agree.
Let me add this disclaimer
I
right
agree.
here.
I agree.
We all live in America, right? America frowns more on this than they do credit.
Credit.
Why? You can't just walk into any dealership with cash unless you live in Australia, right? Australia is cash. America is credit. If you don't have revolving credit, you're dead in the water. You can be the richest dummy out there and not have no credit and still be broke. You can't do that. It's like, okay, how much your house? I want to buy it.
Oh, this a real.
This is all I got. This is all I got,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna give you all my cash. I'm gonna
Yeah.
give you all my cash, and I'm gonna buy the house.
Yeah.
I still got utilities. I still got. America was founded on credit. If you do not have revolving credit, I don't care how much money you got in the bank, it still don't make sense. Any person that's a millionaire, billionaire will tell you that.
Okay. Well, you agree? Do you agree that your lifestyle can't be based off your credit card? You agree with that?
I agree with that. I just think
That's
the
all
way
I'm
you-
saying. That's all I'm
I
saying.
definitely
Yeah.
agree.
Like every time it's time to do something, you can't just pull out the credit card.
Yeah.
I use my
Yeah.
credit card for every single transaction.
'cause I be wanting my
turn right
Delta
back
points.
around, I
Pay
pay
it
it
off.
right back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I
But is that
accumulate
like
those
one
points.
credit card, but you don't have like
Whoa.
5
It
credit
says-
cards?
Well,
Hold on.
it's just one credit
Say it
card.
again,
but I
say it
plan
again.
on
One credit
I-
card.
No,
But say
I-
it again.
I plan on getting more though.
No, you
because
missed
the-
something.
Once I get more credit cards,
Why do
I'm
you do it
gonna-
again?
It's for the points.
For the points.
Yeah,
Get them
yeah,
for the
exactly.
missed
That's
that.
why I say I get my Delta miles.
The point.
The miles, the
It's the
points,
points.
all that.
Yeah.
The last
So it depends on what you're using it
my
for.
last 5 Amazon transactions, which has been hundreds of dollars, have been completely free because of my Chase Sapphire account, and I'm not here to
So
promote.
so
I'm
so
just
let's
saying.
let's be real that a credit card is built to make money. So yes, they have an interest rate. Yes, they're hoping that you don't pay them back on the first.
You pay.
They're hoping that you
But-
take
Compounding.
10
That's
minutes,
the
10
Making
months.
money
on my
off of
side
money.
now.
No, what I'm saying is that's what they're hoping for. But what I'm saying is education
Yeah.
is gonna tell us, we're gonna tell each other like, hey, don't take 3 months. Only take pay that thing back.
Go
as
on,
soon as
pay
you-
it back.
Because this is what
ASAP.
helps. You ain't got to pay no
Don't even
interest.
buy it if
Or
you can't pay
if
it
they
right
give you
back.
that introductory rate, 0% interest,
Just
transfer
get it
the
in.
other credit card
Yeah.
over there, pay
so
it
I
off.
like what
you teach
Brianna
people
said.
that.
So Brianna, your system is that you use your credit card, pay and everything, and
Yeah.
you get the rewards, and you
So
like
use it as a tool.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, I get that. But I was trying to let me give him camera. Let me give him some camera.
You're
time.
talking more about
I was trying to
mismanagement.
say
Don't even use the
more-
card if it doesn't have those extra points and advantages.
Yeah.
I think with
So
your
So I understand that
Making
she's getting reward points and she's getting something out of it. My thing was I was saying that anybody who wants to do something and is just let's put it on the credit card.
No.
Yeah,
That's almost
of course
that's
not.
almost like when
Of course
people
not.
at Christmas time they won't pay their rent at
Yeah.
Christmas time.
No.
They go pound every damn thing just for Christmas, and then come January, the first of the year, they
It's a
stuck in a hole.
mentality, man.
Yeah, that's
And then they waiting on that income tax.
You're absolutely
mentality.
right.
A lot, but that's
It's
how
a
they were
mentality.
taught. They was taught.
Oh, she just said it.
Can I touch
That's
it?
how. Go ahead, touch. it.
Touch it.
Oh, shit.
Touch it,
Put
baby.
both hands in it.
I'm just saying that's where they were taught.
We about to come talk about that anyway.
They were taught, hey, just make it through until after the end of the year.
Yeah.
When my taxes hit, we're gonna be good.
Man,
but they're not
listen,
realizing that don't
They're not
last
taught
but a couple of
properly.
months.
Not taught properly. Now, Econ 101, I hated the class. I had to take the class in college, and I learned a lot about it. I couldn't stand him. His name was Mark. He was a professor, and he taught us Econ. He said a lot of times poverty is a conditional lesson. It's something that we're taught by our mothers and fathers and our
Yes,
aunts
yes,
and uncles
yeah.
because they didn't know no better either. And he gave us examples, and I share them with you. An example of poverty. Right? Instead of having the money, like you said, and having a plan, if you're going to get a credit card, use it as a tool to get the points, rewards, whatever the case may be, to get to the next point.
Okay.
A lot of poverty is the same equation, right? I'm going to get a paycheck this week. I'm going to spend it. I'm going to get another one. So when they're not saving anything,
Right.
there's no foundation behind that.
Right.
Everything that they have in their house was from Renter Center. The
Oh, yeah.
washer, the dryer, the big screen TV, because we don't love ourselves enough to tell ourselves it's okay, I don't need it. I don't need it right now, but I want it right now. So now you in more debt to the point where you go and get a car, not at a dealership. You go to a corner dirt lot and pay this high interest
Ooh,
rate.
they killing you.
Hold on. So now interest on top of interest on top of interest, and that car ain't gonna even last until that income tax.
Next
Now the
income tax.
income tax come, guess what? We balling on the budget. We ain't put none of that money back to savings. We ain't paid nothing off. We just keep opening up different envelopes. We don't know exactly how much money we bringing in, but we keep putting it out. Car don't work no more. Got to get a new car. So you getting a car every year.
Yeah. Yeah.
You paying rent the center. You not trying to save and get out of a situation. It's because we're not taught properly. So where do you get that information? Sometimes you have to step outside of what your comfort zone is.
Right.
If everybody
Like Brianna.
in your family lives in the same projects, in which mine was, you're going to have to move over to another city. Maybe you get a duplex. Maybe you get an apartment. You have to keep being uncomfortable to get to a point where you're comfortable.
I like that. Anytime you're comfortable is bad. It's
not a,
it's killing you. You're
not-
not.
I do income taxes. When I went to college, I was an accounting major, but unfortunately, I dropped out and decided to do something else. But I represent people who are getting audited by the IRS. I'm an enrolled agent, so I have that ability to do that. And most of the people, the common person who does their income taxes and they rely on their income taxes, I always have to say, don't count this money. Don't spend this money before it's in your pocket. That's
I used
essentially.
to tell people, if you can go all that time without that income tax money,
You need
when
it.
you get that, put it up.
Yeah, don't. I always say. I
Invest it,
think
compound
that's
interest.
what mismanaging a credit card is utilizing money that is not in your pocket. You're
Right.
counting money that's not in your actual pocket, and that is what most people's. That's what majority of people who have debt issues, their problem is utilizing money that is not in there. It's just not before you get it. You done spent it before you got it.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's wants versus needs.
Yeah,
And a lot of
yeah.
us don't understand the difference.
Yeah.
I want that. Hershey, you said it earlier. It's about a choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look, you don't have to have the Whopper with the extra bacon and all the extra cheese on it. Yeah, you can just
You
get you a
want it.
cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Or we can go to the grocery store
And cook it.
and cook it. So it's about wants and needs and that sacrifices. And a lot of us in this type of community, we're not taught that, I got some money in my hand, I got to go blow it,
And
or I
be
got to
burning
go
a
throw
hole
it.
in their hand.
But we have to teach ourselves that self-discipline. Because ain't nobody else going to teach us. Nobody has taught us thus far.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
in college, and the people that we went to college, I think it was a sin for us to go into the mess hall or the lounge and they have this little stand set up by a credit card company
They tell
giving
you,
all of these college people
with no
a credit
education,
card
yeah.
with no education behind it.
Yeah.
They didn't teach us about the compound interest, the daily interest, the annual interest that we're going to have to actually plug for this little bitty old $500. It's 29.99% interest until it was too late and it was already gone. Our credit down the crapper. So we went to school to get all this knowledge and paid money, right? And didn't get the proper education that we needed to sustain us moving forward.
Yeah.
So I think going forward, and the solution, we talk into our face of purple and blue.
Yeah.
What are we going to do different?
What are we going to do? Let's
how
talk
we-
about
gonna
that.
do it
Right.
differently.
How we going to give back?
Forget
How we going to leave the
forget about
legacy?
These credit cards, honestly, we can't even curb inflation unless we're actually investing our money.
Mhm.
Forget saving the money. Like we gotta actually grow this money
Yeah.
because the dollar is losing its value every single day.
Daily.
Every
Yeah.
day.
Daily.
Every single
Daily.
day.
If somebody told me this, and I heard this on social media. A lot of times we think we're dumb when we enter into a different avenue. Just call it education. You're taking a class. We feel dumb when we're actually at our strongest point because we're learning, right?
Right.
But a lot of times it's pride. You know, well, my mama didn't do it, this, that, and third. Why should I do it? We have to actually give ourselves a fighting chance, arm ourselves with the right knowledge to make the right decisions. Me the other day, I was moving some retirement funds over, and I had the devil on one shoulder, had the angel on the other shoulder, and the devil was like, dude, you ain't got time for this, man. Just go pay somebody to do this, right? And the other one was like, no, man, you need to learn this because you don't know it. You don't know this. And I was looking at stuff that was not common. My ancestors, I don't have nobody to call. Not that I don't love them. I don't have nobody to call for financial advice. I'm it. I'm all it is. So if I stop challenging myself, not only do I die, but anybody behind me dies because who's going to teach them at that particular point?
Right.
So I'm looking at different things like accept mutual agreements and IRAs and different types. There's 3 different types of IRAs and accept. Nobody taught me that. And I was angry. I was angry that my money was sitting here getting just a little bit when I could have just spread it out over a certain time.
Whose
and get a better
responsibility
return.
do you think that is? Is it your parents or is it the school system? Is it America's? Whose
Both.
responsibility?
Well-
Both.
Now it's
Yeah.
ours.
I say it's both, and I say this because we're the only. I hate to keep going race, but we're the only race of people on in the world, period, that don't give back. Like if you go to another side, just say your
And it's
friend
an
Aaron.
incentive to give back, and you still don't take
right.
it. Yeah.
But just say Aaron's father and parent, they armed him with that information. They told him about compound interest. They let him know that if you use your Social Security card and put your kid on it, every payment that I make, my kid gets credit for it. In our communities, we're putting little Kiki and Keisha Social Security number up just for the lights and the water bill.
I
But
never
see,
did
that's the thing is,
And we do it.
but
A
you know
lot of
what?
people do it. I never did
It's
that.
survival
Yeah,
sometimes.
but
But
to-
it's like it's lack of knowledge too.
Again, that's what I was about to say. But to take up for our people, again, where other races are, like you use the example of the car. When another race comes into this country, our country gives them an incentive to come here. They give them an incentive. They start off with 1 foot above. Where we live here and we're starting off 10 feet behind. You
We're
get what
the
I'm saying?
only race of
so
people.
we can't teach our children what we don't know. And then what becomes hard is when somebody tries to introduce you to something new, it's hard
You frown upon it.
to accept it. I'll even go as far as biblical. Like I don't understand how for me, when I was in, I'm still into church, but when I was really like getting into church and trying to get saved as an adult, if the preacher preached prosperity, but didn't have no money, how can you teach me? How can you tell me how good God is and how God gonna bless you if you pay your tithes, but you struggling to pay the church bills? When this is just that mentality then, when you are the closest to get to God. You get what I'm saying? So that would be my mentality. So it's hard to teach a person finances when you don't look like you got your finances together. That is, and we can argue with it. We can
That's
argue with
maturity,
it.
though.
No,
That's
you can
maturity,
argue
though.
with it, but it's reality. I'm not going to believe the person who doesn't, and it's I'm not talking about looking like money with Gucci and Prada. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a person, you can tell when a person is living comfortably and they are, comfortable in their financial situation versus a person where you like, no, you don't look like you're so comfortable. You might have you can tell, I'm going to tell you, I don't know, ladies, if y'all can tell. When I'm dating a man, he got the big car, the nice car, the big house. I can tell from his conversation if he really got extra money. I can tell from his conversation if he really got extra money. Yeah, he got that car, he got that big house, he got the nice clothes, but I can tell by his conversation that that's all he got. He ain't got nothing extra. But when you can also tell from a man who got the big car, the big house, the nice clothes, that he got a little extra too. You can tell from the conversation.
So how big of a factor is money when you're looking at relationship? I have to ask that.
Well, you want me to be honest?
Yes, I want you to be 100.
It's extremely important to me because I am good with my money. I'm a good steward of what God gave me. So I need to make sure you're a good steward of what God gave you. That's number one. And then number two, I am very big on, I want my man to be a provider. He don't have to be the sole provider, but I need to know that I can lean on him to be the provider if he has to be. So therefore, it's very important. You ain't got to be a millionaire. Oh, no, you ain't got to have all the money, but you got to be financially stable. I'm too goddamn old to be a down-ass girl. I cannot
ride or die.
I cannot ride or die with you. I'm not even at an age where I want to assist you financially. I want to assist you mentally. I want to be a catering woman. I want to be rub your feet when you come home. I want to do, but I can't do that if I got to help you worry about bills.
So
I don't know how to do that.
What's your definition of helpmate? We talked about a lot of things, and I'm just listening. I'm asking questions for a reason.
A helpmate to me is wherever you need my help. Mm-hmm. So it's not a definition of, oh, I help you with this, or I help you with your money, or I help you with that. It's every person is an individual. You know what I mean? So like the guy I'm dating now, financially stable. He don't need me to come in and help pay nothing. He makes that very clear. But he might need me to come in and make his house a home. Because he don't know how to decorate, you know what I mean? Or he don't even need me to come in and cook and clean because he got somebody he can pay to do that. But it just feels good when he walk home and his woman did it. So you have to figure out, for me, that's not a defined answer. I can't give you a defined answer. Depends on the person you're dating at that moment. What do they need help with in their life? He wants to start a business. I'm assist him. I'm gonna encourage him. Babe, what you need me to do? You make these phone calls.
You gonna be his cheerleader?
I know how to be your cheerleader. I'm good at admin. I done started a few businesses myself. I can give you that information. You know what I mean? Like wherever I see you lacking, that's where I come in and pick up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I need to learn how to follow you just in case I have to lead you. So therefore, I need to know how to work that avenue. I struggle, and the only reason I can say that now is because I struggle with that. Mm-hmm. I struggled with being a helpmate. I thought I wanted to help you how I knew how to help you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted to come in and sex you down. I wanted to come in and cook for you. I wanted to come in and clean for you. I wanted to come in and do all the things that I thought that a woman's supposed to do when she get a man. And he like, I'm damn near 50. I'm 45 years old. Like I done had all the I can get.
You feel me?
You know what I'm saying? I done had girl. Listen,
you gonna bring?
I can pay somebody
What else
to
you
come
bring
in
it to
here.
the table?
You
Put your
feel
clothes
me?
back
You know
on.
what I'm saying?
Let's sit there. Let's sit here and talk about my desires.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that taught me then.
Yeah.
And then I'm a nurturer. Like I like to come in and take over and take care of things. But it taught me, listen, I'm not finna burn no energy that I ain't gotta burn. I'm not finna do what you don't need me to do. So you have to figure out where that man lacks. And listen, he'll tell you what he need.
Mm-hmm.
And
If you do what?
listen.
If you do what?
If you listen.
Communicate.
If you listen.
Submit.
If you listen.
A lot of
no,
men
you
don't know what they
Submit. Submit.
Hold on.
They
Submit.
think they want that,
Hold
but they
on.
don't want to deal with that.
Did you hear me, Calloway?
Say it again.
A lot of men don't know what they need.
That's why we don't listen
They've
to what they
asked
need.
God. God, send me that woman. Send me the one I need. Send me my wife, the one. Woo, 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 woo. And get what?
When
He
they
sent
get
her.
them, they don't recognize.
He sent her, but guess what? Because she was broken, or because she was hurt, and you didn't want to go through the process, you gave your woman right back to the street.
So let me ask you this, since I got your attention on that, all right? Because we spent about 10 minutes on finances, right?
Yeah.
And helpmate, and then I heard they ain't ready for a real woman. Once they get them, it's for the streets.
She didn't
So let
say
me
that.
hold
She
on.
didn't
Hold.
say that.
Let me. This that's my paraphrase. Hold on.
That's what you
Don't
heard.
slap me for that. Don't slap me for that.
That's
But
what
let me ask you a question. Being a helpmate, knowing what God is telling you, because your God, your conversation, right, your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
If your man were dead broke tomorrow, are you out?
No. So this is where it comes to when we talk about finances. First of all, and let's just be 100% clear.
200.
It's very, very. It's not about the finances. It's the characteristics that got you there. And it's very, very unlikely that a man who has reached a pinnacle of success in his career or whatever, we're talking about at our age group, right? Where he will reach that pinnacle of success in his career or his finances and stuff and just lose it. Let's just say that's very rare. But if he lost it, guess what? He got it. He got it one time. So he know how to go back and get it. And if I've gotten to that point with you, I trust that you. That's the part that you're hearing. You're hearing me say, "Oh, I want a man with money," but you're not hearing me say, "I want a man who know how to go get some money." Right. I need to know, and that's what I'm in love with.
I like that.
I like clarification.
I like that.
It ain't that I ain't here. I didn't say it.
No.
All I heard was finance. And a lot of times we as people, we could be selective listeners, or we have an expectation attached on to what I want you to say.
Because
when I asked the question, I was very clear. And I was very patient. I said, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah.
Are you a helpmate?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And the finances kept coming up. So that's when I hit you with, what if he totally loses? And yeah, we're at a state where we should be better, this, that, and the third.
But shit happens.
But you can put that shit all in the stock market today and tomorrow it be gone. So what I'm trying to say, just like you saying, you can lose a good thing for being overzealous in one area, is what I'm saying. So are you in all the way in 100%, not just because of the finances, even though he should be?
Can't start off all broken.
Well, we ain't talking about broken.
Once
because
you're
if you start off broke, you already know what you got. That ain't what we're saying.
No.
If you start off in a situation, right, and you do your interviewing, I call dating, same thing, right? And he comes across as a guy who knows how to go get it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He ain't a little boy talking about, I just want to play with your private parts and then we can do whatever. We're not at that state. We're talking about, I met Taiwan. He had his stuff together. You know what I'm saying? God told me he was the one. We got together. I submitted to him under God. And then I'm his helpmate, whatever he needs me to do, cheerleader, whatever the case may be. And then he lost it. Right? And I think you're answering, correct me if I'm wrong, you're like, he's got the blueprint in so many words, he could go get it again. And I'm not that shallow of a person to say, oh man, this dude right here can't even take me out this week. But he just lost his money.
But you heard too, but you also should have heard when I said, I have to learn and trust to follow him so that I can trust him to lead me. Because his money is not why I trust to follow him. It's his characteristics that made me say, okay, I can let this man lead me. Not because he got $1 million. It's because I saw his grind or how he got the. See, I'm big on. I'm not. When it comes to financial stability, I don't want the man that got it from his daddy. The hereditary money. I want the man that he went to work, then he went to school and he got this, and then he said, well, you know what, I'm gonna go get this because I want to make. I respect the grind. I respect the grind. I don't respect it was given to him. And I when I was young, I dated hustlers. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was young, you gave me a D-boy. It was on and popping. You know what I'm saying? It was on and popping. But now at this age, no. If a guy if you can't tell me how you get your money, or if you don't get your money on the 1st and 15th, I don't even know if I want to deal with you, because it's like. Because just as fast as it comes, is as fast as it goes. And you're going to be coming to look for the next hustle. Yeah. And I'm in a stage of my life where I need stability, not the next hustle. So it depends on how that man got his money. Those are all variables. See, y'all just hear, you got to have some money. You got to have some money.
The reason I guess in our society is a lot of women, and there's no absolute, I never paint anybody in the box, but a lot of times women, that's one of their soul things. Oh, got the money, and then get upset when you say, well, why you talking about the money? Well, hell, that's what you led with. That's all you said. Money. Bold money.
I ain't mad at you. All right. But hold on, y'all as women, are y'all the same way? Like, is a man being financially stable, is that important to you?
That didn't used to be important to me, but now it is, because now I'm financially stable. And it's like, you're not about to drag me down.
Ooh, you ain't signing up for the struggle.
No, I've already rode the struggle bus. I'm not.
I don't want to go back to it.
Like, no.
All right, y'all. We gonna close out. We've been streaming for an hour and 13 minutes. Before we close out, I want to give you guys something.
Uh-oh.
Girl, listen.
Straight up.
Listen, we like gifts too. We like gifts too. Callaway, I just like seeing your reaction.
You already know
I need
Callaway's
a
just
smaller one.
on something different.
Straight up.
What size you got? Medium?
I think it's a medium. Hold on, let's see. It's a medium.
Yeah, a medium.
You need a medium? Okay, I'll give you a medium. All right, so we're going to get out of here.
Straight
And I just
up.
want to thank y'all for
No,
taking
thank you for
time
having
and
us.
coming and conversing with us about these topics that are very important in today's society. Jay Callaway, you got anything before we get out of here?
In closing, we talked about finance and not living over your means. When you reach the pinnacle of, getting what you thought you want out of life, please reach back and at least attempt to educate those that are behind you. And looking at making money, also consider painting a legacy for those that are coming behind you. Let them stand on your shoulders like you stand on everybody else's shoulders. Each one teach one, and together we'll get there. Period. Straight up.
Rihanna?
Oh, these are closing remarks.
Yeah, closing remarks.
I mean, just don't care about what you need. Like, that's
Okay.
pretty much all I got.
Hershey.
I just say live right, trust God, and always walk in faith. If
That's
you
a
do
good
those things, you can't go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And
Brianna,
leave
give us
society
your,
alone. You
give us
gotta
your
leave
Instagram again.
society alone.
Your Instagram?
Oh, Breezus, BR, 7 E's, ZUS.
Okay. And what's your Instagrams?
Hershey. Hershey.Hershey, HERSHEE .HERSHEE.
Connie Love, CONNILUV. That's on Instagram and Facebook.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. We out.
Bye.
Fingers. Good going.